If you're stuck at $11,000 a month, watch this. I'm going to show you exactly how you can break past that ceiling and hit 40, 50, even $60,000 months within 2 months. Now, this is not for everyone. This is only for brick and mortar service businesses and any solo, duo, even trio operators that don't have many employees yet and are still hands-on fulfilling and running the entire business themselves. This isn't a marketing pitch like these other guys you see out here, these marketing agencies that promise these crazy results. I'm gonna actually give you value in this video and show you exactly how I scaled my landscaping business from $10,000 stuck, going nowhere, to $40,000 within 1 month with this exact strategy. This is the exact system that broke our ceiling, 7,000 to 40,000 in the first month with the breakpoint system. With less effort, not more. Here's the hard truth about your business. It's hard, right? Running a business is hard. It's a glorified 9 to 5. It's arguably harder than a 9 to 5. You got to worry about taxes. You got to worry about all these different moving parts. When you were working your 9 to 5, all you had to do was worry about your job. But now you own every position in your company. You get done with work for the day, fulfilling your jobs, and then you have to go do more work. You have to update your backend. You got to put your finances in order. You got to respond to more leads and close next week's jobs. You work more than everybody else that you know, but make less money with less certainty. You feel more stressed than people working safe 9 to 5 jobs. It's not just you though. Every owner operator feels this. I felt this for so long, and it's the most painful feeling ever because it feels like you can't even get past it. It's like such a big leap, and everything that you try, nothing seems to work. Why though? You're stuck in the unknown flywheel. Now, this is what I like to call the endless owner operator loop. So here's you, the owner operator, you're running for money. That's questionable, right? Who says you even close this, right? And then you walk away closing one big job, let's say $5,000, right? Then, after fulfilling that job and putting all that work into trying to get those leads, you have a dry pipeline the next week. And then you're stressing, figuring out how am I going to make money next week, right? It's an endless cycle. And then you're right back into it, chasing money again. Questionable, right? Because your sales process may not be that optimized. So you don't even have any guaranteed money ever. And you're always chasing. So you're just chasing new leads, fulfilling jobs, emptying your pipeline, you're stressed, and then you repeat the same thing. Realistically, you're in the same place every week. I'm willing to bet that your revenue hasn't really grown by too much, maybe sub $5,000 over the past 6 months. It feels like failure on repeat. You don't have predictability. It's exhausting. It feels like your business is literally going nowhere. You're thinking, is this even worth it? Should I keep doing this? Well, I'm gonna show you the 3 key areas that can stop the bleeding for good. Let's start with the top of funnel, right? So you most likely have a very generic offer for your market right now, okay? So you need to niche down. The riches are in the niches. You can't be the guy that says you do absolutely everything. The thing that took our landscaping business from 10,000 to 40,000 was we niched down. We found a gap that was underserved in our market, which was residential mulch installs. And we were able to charge high ticket for it because no one else would do it. Number 2 is you don't have any predictable acquisition channel, right? You're only using maybe print marketing, door-to-door, SEO. You're working really hard on your website. Word of mouth obviously is very common, and you need something reliable to scale. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's paid ads. Stick around, I'll show you. And third, you don't have a market gap and there's no attraction offer. So you're going to get shitty leads. You don't have an attraction offer. You don't give people urgency, scarcity within your marketing to allow them to qualify themselves and take action instantly. Therefore, you're chasing leads and you're wasting your time doing so. Now let's look at your middle of funnel, okay? You have no trust builders in your middle of funnel. So when somebody's in your ecosystem, when somebody sees your marketing, they don't have any more trust that they can get from you. Sure, your Google My Business has reviews, which is super helpful, but you don't have a trust builder, which leads me into number 2. You need to optimize your social media to be your trust platform. Don't try to go viral. Virality is not going to generate you business, especially if you're in a super small market and you're limited to your city, right? You're limited to 20, 30, 40 mile radius. You got to optimize your socials for trust, not for virality, okay? IG and Facebook. And third, maybe you have weak proof, right? You don't have much reviews. You have nothing that screams on your site, we're the best. And that's very important for being an authority in your space. Now, last but not least, the bottom of funnel, which is arguably the easiest to fix if you get everything else working. You have leads that rot. Why? Because you're too slow to quote, or you have a very terrible system that's not even wanting leads to respond anyway. It sounds robotic. Maybe you're not getting to them in time. You need to message a lead within the first 30 to 60 seconds after they opt in to ensure that they can remember you and physically start the conversation with you. You have a way higher chance of actually closing that lead. You're doing a lot of the heavy lifting yourself, right? You're an owner operator, maybe solo, maybe you have a partner. You don't have any automation set up within your CRM to help you do the heavy lifting on the bottom of funnel. You're too hands on, so you're doing a lot of the service delivery yourself. Pretty much every aspect of your business is independently run and operated by you. And you sound like a robot probably in your marketing, which that's what happens when you use ChatGPT. Number three, you don't have a nurture system. This is the most important part to getting consistency and predictability within your business. You have an unorganized pipeline. You don't know which lead you reached out to. You don't know which lead's in which stage. You have a nurture or you don't. If you don't have a nurture, then you are losing out on a lot of money. A lot of money. If you do have a nurture, it might be a little messy and it necessarily isn't the best structure. You need to have urgency and you need to provide education within your nurture. So you may be asking, how do I break out of this? Well, this is the 10K breakpoint system and it's super, super simple. We optimize the top of funnel to generate demand for your business. We build your middle of funnel to inflict trust and make your prospects want to go through with you and not be able to look at anyone else in your area. And we implement the bottom of funnel for scale. This is what got us out of that 10K trap. Now we install the same system for other independent, duo, maybe trio owner operators to finally break them free from the endless cycle. So we started with pressure washing in our first service business, handing out door-to-door flyers literally every night. Every night. I can't tell you how many flyers we did, but we would spend every night handing out flyers. Okay? We tried literally every variation of flyers we could. We spent so much money on ink. We printed so many damn flyers, probably the dumb way, but we had to get our stuff off the ground until we had 3 bookings one morning, all for our 597 house wash bundle. We finally got our first taste of momentum with the 597 bundle. And this was a lot of work. Like I'm telling you, this was probably 40, 50 hours of handing out flyers to get these 3 customers. We made some money with pressure washing, but we didn't make enough to make it profitable consistently. And this is the reason why. We decided to pivot to landscaping later in the spring once that started to get some buzz going. And we instantly saw traction because we decided to run paid ads. We ran paid ads on Meta with a very structured, authentic, authoritative campaign to really call out exactly who we wanted to see the ad and who we wanted to help. And it started to take off. We were working way less harder using paid ads. We didn't have to go door to door every single night handing flyers out to try to get people to sign up for our pressure washing offer. And the rest is history. We worked and developed systems so we could scale. I'm talking nurture systems, backend systems, marketing systems, so we could implement the same ad strategy over and over and over, and all we had to do was just fulfill the jobs. Mulch was our gap. This was the gap that we found in our market, and it's very important that you find one for yours too. It was underserved and people were dying to pay money for it. They hated doing it, right? They hated doing mulch. So we could charge any number we wanted because no one else in our area was offering residential mulching services. Now, I could tell you so much more about this story, but we'll save that for another video. I want to give you some more value. Just so you know, you can do this too. I was stuck at the 10K a month barrier. It felt like nothing was going right for me, but it was because I didn't have the right systems in place to hit $30,000 and $40,000 months following. And this is why I created the breakpoint system. Let me show you exactly how it works. So first we start with the demand engine. This is the top of funnel. We find a market gap for you within your business. We do an insane amount of research in your area, what your area is looking like, what's the most profitable gap we can find and capitalize on for this time of year. We take into consideration literally everything. We started with landscaping and we decided to niche the fuck down and go straight into mulch, and that's how we made all of our money. And then we build you an attraction offer on the front end, right? Hermosi's a big trademark of this. If you've never read $100 Million Money Models, I guarantee you, if you read this book, you can implement all these systems yourself. Attraction offer, like a buy X, get Y. So hey, if you buy mulching services this week, we're going to include trimming for free, right? If you really want to get that urgency in there, if you really want to get people to see that there's value in actually taking action, you're going to get way more customers way faster and way more consistently. And then we built our ad arsenal. This is the most important part here. We did one authority ad, one testimonial ad, and one on the job ad. And we ran those in the same ad set and targeted people within a 15-mile radius and let the algorithm do the rest. And I'm going to tell you right now, whatever you think about meta ads, it is the most predictable way to scale in 2025. It's always been the most predictable way to scale. Not organic content, not paid ad, not organic content, not SEO. Word of mouth still works, referrals still work. But if you want to consistently get predictable business, meta ads are the way to go. So you need to create demand. Now that you have demand, you need to turn that demand into money. And you do that by getting the audience to trust you. So this is your trust engine. This is the middle funnel. This is the most important part for conversion here. You need to optimize your profile funnel. Now, what do I mean by profile funnel? Everything needs to be brandable. Now, you see here, this is our Instagram, Helverson Bros. Okay, so we had our branded, very, very important. We had everything branded, exactly what we did. We had our website there, and then we had a review section here, and we only posted results that we were able to get for our clients. And within the review section, we were able to add our Facebook reviews and all of our Google reviews into a story sequence so people could see this stuff when they came from our ads and see the proof and the results that we were able to drive. I'll say this right now before everybody else does. If you buy a $5,000 social media website right now, you're done. Social media is literally your new website. You don't need a website. You don't need a website designer. Social media is your website if you know how to structure it right. And then we implemented a review surge. Okay, now what do I mean by this? A lot of you probably already have this, but we created a sequence to request a review after every single job. And we had to make it incentivized so people actually wanted to get a review. So we use Go High Level as our CRM. I know some people use Jobber. I'm very, very bullish on Go High Level. Super dialed, super simple, and you can pretty much run everything through it. So we built the automation there, and we were able to collect reviews on autopilot. And then you want to implement proof content. This goes back to the social media optimization, okay? You want to capture before and after results after every job, every single job, okay? People love before and afters. If that's all you post on your Instagram along with educational and authority content on your offer, that is all you need to do. I'm telling you right now, people see before and afters, they're going to fall in love with the result and they're going to want the same for them. It's really that simple for the middle funnel, okay? Now, let's fucking scale, baby. This is the scale engine, the bottom of funnel, okay? Now, one of the most important things that we implemented here was the speed to quote AI. So we used AI to 10x our quoting speed within our business and then eventually fully automated it. So we just had to say, yes, this quote looks good, send it over. Use this to hammer quotes out same day. I know contractors, service business owners, they love to dallygag and wait for quoting, but quote these people when they're most interested in your service. Why would you not quote them right away if you had an AI system that could optimize all of your KPIs and what you look for in a job and give you the exact answer that you need or the ballpark so you can make a good decision behind it? And then we built a master nurture sequence. This is so important. This is literally the key to getting consistency within your work. We built a nurture system that provides value and stays in the ear of the prospect the entire process, the entire ecosystem. Every single prospect goes through this nurture system, whether they book, whether they don't book, whether they ghost you, they go through this nurture system. And it's all automated within Go High Level. Okay, now basically what it is, let's just say from the cold lead perspective, you have a lead that gone cold, right? We flood them with educational value and then also value on the service. So we educate them and give them value, make them feel valued as not even our customer yet, but just someone in our world, right? And then we implement a special offer precisely at a specific time after they've been nurtured enough and they re-engage and they book. And the nurture sequence is really what gives you all the value out of your pipeline. It's what squeezes all the juices so you don't miss a drop. And then we implement scale systems. These are the library of And then we implemented scale systems. Very important. These are literally the library of processes that allow you to hire and scale without putting more time into your business. So we implemented an appointment setter. This was an AI one for us that answered the phone for us, got leads info, and allowed us to get inbound leads without even having to answer the phone, because that's a very time-consuming task. We optimized our employee acquisition to hire some people over the summer to help us out with fulfilling jobs so that we could be more focused on the marketing and the overall brand of the business. And then we implemented content systems so we could produce advertising content and we could produce before and after content and all of our review content super simply, already pre-templated out, so we didn't have to start from scratch after every content we wanted to post. And then we implemented a quoting system. Like I said, we implemented AI. We dialed in our whole process for quoting so that AI could take over. And once it got enough data, that's exactly what it did. And then we implement data systems so we can track our KPIs within our Facebook ads, within all of our acquisition channels, and also our back end so that we know we're profitable and we know we're improving. And this is all so you can finally scale. And the good news is once you optimize the top and middle, the bottom is so easy. You just have to get the demand. The demand is arguably the hardest part here. The trust is easy. If you already do, the demand feeds into the trust and the trust feeds into scaling. And it's just an endless cycle of more, and then eventually you're making $100,000 a month within 6 months, right? You blink and then you're at $100,000. But the bad news is, this is your only way out. This is your only way out of this endless trap. You can't afford to be scrambled and stuck like you have been. How are you going to survive slow season? What happens when it gets slow? Without implementing a system like this, you can't. It's not possible. I was in the same spot, chewing glass for a year, trying all the wrong things. I literally got nowhere. Nowhere. Everything changed when it clicked. We went from chasing week to week to $40,000 a month with 80% profit margins. This is crazy numbers for service businesses, and I'm telling you, all it takes is systems. And this happened the next month with predictability and peace of mind. We weren't tripping out about making $10,000. We could barely scrape by. We got everything. And now I help others do the same while continuing to scale our service company. Because I know firsthand how hard it is to break the ceiling on your own. You don't need more hustle. You don't need to just wait it out. You need a system that brings predictability, demand, trust, and scale to your business so you can finally stop feeling like you're working a glorified 9 to 5. But here's the truth. If you don't fix this, that flywheel will repeat itself over and over and over for all of eternity until you actually burn out. Busy one week, empty the next. Busy one week, empty calendar the next. How can you hire the crew and scale this business that you've been dreaming about when you can't break through? You won't. And nothing changes until something changes. But this one system in place, your phone rings consistently, you have a consistent flow of inbound leads, you have predictability in your business, you scale past the $10,000 a month ceiling you've been stuck at with higher margins, and you hit that $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 mark so you can start looking at hiring employees and scaling your business like you were meant to scale, instead of working a glorified 9 to 5 and feeling like you're getting nowhere. So if you're stuck at that ceiling and you're finally serious about breaking through and scaling to the next level, DM me the word break on Instagram and I'll see if I can help you out, see if we can implement something like this for your business so that way you can finally break past the ceiling. If not, totally cool. I'll be breaking some more stuff down in the next couple videos, so make sure you subscribe. And yeah, service business is hard, but I'm telling you right now, you implement the systems like this and you actually start treating your business like a business, you're going to see results that you never thought were possible, but you always knew that you wanted to get to. You know what to do.